Hey guys, so in this video, what I want to do is take a Passport Max and basically take it apart. I'm really curious what's on the inside of the unit, how it works, basically what the internals look like. And I just did it here once a couple minutes ago just to figure out how things worked, how to take it apart, and also I can do it on camera. And so in this video, basically what I want to do is I want to take this detector here and turn it into this. So as you can see here, we've got all the parts, different components laid out. I just took it apart and I learned a lot of cool stuff as far as how things work and some little nuances and cool little details about the detector. So figure out, go ahead and just point a camera at the detector while I do it, and let's take this apart. So to actually take apart your Max or your Max2, there's a couple things that you're going to need. First of all, we're going to have to remove the plastic case, and to do that you're going to need something to pry the case off with. You want some piece of plastic that's pretty thin. I didn't have anything around the house like a specialized tool, so I just grabbed one of these, like a little bread tie basically, and that actually worked. I would like something a little bit thinner than this, but it did the job. You're also going to need two different screwdrivers. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver and also a Torx screwdriver, size T8. So Phillips and Torx. So get those, basically plastic pry tool, Phillips screwdriver, Torx screwdriver, and that's pretty much all you're going to need to go ahead and take your Max apart. So with that said, let's just go ahead and do it. So the way it's designed, the case here, the Max actually has a plastic removable shell. You'll notice if you take a look at the bottom of the detector, it actually doesn't have a serial number or FCC ID tag or anything. And that's because you actually have to remove this plastic panel here, and then you'll see the serial number sticker there. As opposed to other detectors, like here's the Beltronics GT7. Put them side by side. You'll notice if I flip them over, this guy actually has a serial number here on the bottom where this guy does not. And so we have to remove this panel first until to expose the serial number. So anyways, that's what we want to do. Now I asked for a little help on RDF because I was having some trouble with this, and this will make sense once we do it, but the idea with how this works, and what I want to show you guys is I was trying to figure it out on my own, and you'll see kind of like right around here there's some scratches around this panel, and I've kind of messed up the plastic trim a little bit trying to figure out where to pry and how to take it apart. So learn from my mistakes. Don't try to pry this thing off. What you do want to do is the way this is going to work is there's 4 plastic clips on the side. They're going to be here, 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 and here. And the same thing, all 4 corners again on the bottom. And what you're going to want to do is basically those clips will clip onto the frame of the detector like this. So what we want to do is actually take these clips and pull the sides of the detector out away this way. And then what I'm going to want to do is take this whole panel, I'm going to pop off 2 clips, one on either side here, and basically open it up like this. Once I remove the 2 there, I can open it up like a book and the whole panel will come off really easily. So that's what we want to do. And now to actually do it, the easiest way to gain entry into the Max is if you look right here, on this side, you'll notice that they're actually a little bit different. So on this side, you'll see how it all just, hopefully it's in focus and all, but you see how this pretty much runs right up to the edge of the lens, and there we go, that was still disconnected a little bit. When it's still connected, you'll see how it's pretty much flush right there. There's not like a big gap. However, if we contrast that with this side, you see how there's these 2 openings right here, one right there, and one right there, and I hope it's going to show up on camera. But when you look at it, you'll notice there's 2 little openings. What we're going to do is we're going to basically stick our pry tool into those openings there, and that'll help us actually open the detector. So what I did is I took this little plastic bread tie, and these corners on it are pretty handy. You can see this one is kind of beat up, and one of the corners, like this one right here, is actually broken off from me messing with it. But the idea here is we're basically going to stick our piece of plastic into this, and we're going to want to pop this panel kind of up away, and so we can pull it off. And you'll see, I'll open it up and it'll make more sense. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're just going to insert this into here. There we go. And so what we've managed to do there, see how it's actually sticking up? Again, this is the bottom of the detector. We're going to do the same thing with the top here in a second. Notice how I was able to get it kind of through there. At this point, we can just kind of slide this way, and there we go. And the panel pops right off. So let's take a look at what we did here so this makes a little bit more sense. If you take a look at the panel, you'll notice there's going to be little clips right here. There's one there, one there, these little tabs, one there, and one there. And what those little tabs do is they just basically go right into, you can see right here, they just clip into there, right? Really simple, they just grab in place. So if you can reach under there and pull it away, so pop it out, panel comes right off. So pretty simple and straightforward. That one was a lot easier than the first time, so maybe it gets a little bit easier over time, but let's go ahead and put that panel away. And we're going to do the exact same thing now with the top panel of the detector. Again, we're going to look for, on this side, we've got a little opening there. You can see there's a little gap between the black piece of plastic and this silver piece of trim, and that's going to be our point of entry to open it up. So we'll go in there. There we go. So you can see we were able to get our pry tool inside, and then we'll just kind of run it back a little bit, and it opens up. Okay, cool. So what we've done now, we've opened up this side. So just basically pop it off, whole panel comes off, and same exact thing on this side. You can see we've got our 4 tabs there, boom, boom, and same exact idea. They just clip into these little notches here on the side of the detector. So cool. All right, so let's go ahead and take our 2 plastic pieces that we've got here, the top and bottom, and we're going to set those aside. Okay, so next what we've got is we've got this silver piece of trim around the side, which we're going to want to remove. We've also got this plastic lens right here, and the way we're going to do that is there's 4 screws here on the bottom of the radar detector. They are Phillips screws. So what we're going to want to do is take our Phillips screwdriver and remove these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, cool. So screws removed. What we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to remove the bottom panel here of the detector. It should pretty much slide out. I don't believe there's anything connected to it, but we should be able to just lift it out at this point. So let's turn it around so I can see it a little bit better. There we go. Awesome. So we have now removed the bottom panel. Take our 4 screws, we'll set them aside. All right, so here is the bottom panel of the detector. You'll notice there's this connection point right there. It looks like they can attach something to probably do some tests on the detector. It's not actually in use, just this cool thing here on the side. And anyways, now that this panel here is removed, see what we've got, little protective foam here for this chip, whatever this one is. So we'll go ahead and set aside now this bottom metal panel. Okay, so now we're looking at the inside of the detector. It looks like this. We've gotten to the first PCB, printed circuit board. So we'll go ahead and remove the lens. So the lens is right here, pretty simple. It just kind of pops right out. Take our lens and we're going to put it aside. It looks like this. Let's see if we can set it up so that you guys can see it, get a little bit of reflection. So inside, cool. All right, let's set that aside. And then we're going to go ahead and want to take this piece of silver trim off next. Turn it around so it's a little more sense for you. And it pretty much just pops right off, no magic tricks. It's held in place by the other body panel, so once you remove that, it just comes right off. And this trim here had the spots for like the USB ports, power ports, all that good stuff. The display was right there. So go ahead and set that aside too. Set our lens aside. Okay, so now we're getting into the heart of the detector. So for this part, we're going to want to remove next this top panel, but when we remove the top panel, we want to do it kind of carefully. And the reason is there is a speaker cable that is connected to it. So the speaker's right there. It's really simple to remove. You basically just give it a little tug and it pops right out. So yeah, really easy. The speaker is located right here. We'll take a look more at this panel here in just a second. Yeah, so we'll set this aside and we'll come back to it in just a moment. Let's take a look at getting closer and closer into the heart of the detector. So we've got, some more chips going on here. We've got the actual buttons right here, the display for the unit. You can see it's just looks like this. It's attached with looks like a ribbon cable right there. Oh, it is a removable ribbon cable. We could remove it. We could, why not? I'll do it for demo purposes. I guess it wouldn't really matter, but let's do that. So to remove it, it should be these little black tabs right there. And it's going to look like this. See these tabs? We'll just push them forward. Yep, 1, 2. And then the display should pretty much slide right out, and it does. Cool. Okay, so there you go. So there is our display. There's our OLED screen. So, okay, go ahead and set our display aside. And then now we're looking at all this. So cool. What we've got, you can see we've got a sandwich of 2 different printed circuit boards, 2 PCBs. And they're really easy to remove. They're basically only connected in 2 places. One right here, and another one right here. You can just pull the 2 in half, just do it carefully, of course, don't bend anything, or just pull them apart, and they should slide right out like a sandwich. So basically, this was plugged into there, and this went here. So really simple, pull them out, they disconnect, there's no extra cables or anything in between. Okay, cool, so we'll take a look at this panel. Not exactly sure what most of this stuff is, to be honest. What I'll do is I'll post some high-res pictures on RDF, so you guys can take a look. You can Google, the different chip names and whatnot, and get familiar with what everything is. So I'm not going to be able to ID most of this stuff, but it's fun to just take it apart and look anyways. Set that panel aside. And okay, so here we go. We're now looking at the actual horn. So here is the metal casing for the horn. When you hear people talking about the antenna or the radar detector horn, this is what they're talking about. If we take a look down the end here, it looks like this one has one ridge right there. This right here is your laser detector. We've got your power cable here, USB there, and that is your headphone jack. It's a little rubber stopper that you can pull out like this. That way you can actually plug something into the headphone jack. Little piece of rubber. So, but I'll just plug it back in for now, so I don't use it. Okay. Now to remove the actual horn, what you're going to want to do is there's actually six screws for it, and they're located. Take a look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then if we go ahead and flip this PCB over, we take another look at it. You'll see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. So those are the ones that we're going to have to remove. And to do that, you'll notice they're not Phillips screws. These are T8 torque screws. So to do that, go ahead and switch bits. Okay. So now I've got my torque screwdriver here. And what I'm going to want to do is just go ahead and remove these 6 screws, and then we'll be able to pop off the horn assembly. Sweet. So there we go. We've got our 6 screws removed, and now we should just be able to lift this up, and there we go. Here is a look. We'll flip these around. I don't know which way looks better on camera, but basically what we're looking at here is the RF circuitry. Basically, a lot of the brains of like the radar processing happens right in here. Here is actually the metal casing for the horn. You can see we've got one ridge down the middle there. Again, we've got our laser sensor. Let's see, we've got a coupler there, some mixers. So basically, stuff going on here. Cool. So there is the inside of our Max2. As you can see, that's what we've got. Looks like there's some little kind of foam pads right here to just protect and cover up this area and this area. There's not one on this side for whatever reason. We've got that. Cool. I'm kind of rusty with all my circuit stuff. I wish I still remembered more, but whatever. I'll post, again, some photos on RDF so you guys can take a closer look. So here's how all this stuff looks. We've also got, we can pull up this third board here. Looks like this. Excuse me. Let me flip it over. We've got another one. This is the one that's got the buttons and all. So cool. There is the inside of the case. And that's pretty much how to take apart your Max2. Let's take a look also at a couple other things. Before we start putting everything back together again, there's a couple other cool things that, I don't know, maybe could have pointed it out earlier, but I figure I'll do it now because why not? Now's a good time too. So a couple things that I noticed. Here is the top panel of the detector. Remember we had this plastic piece up on top. We removed this, right? We're left with this area. We've got the buttons here. We also have our sticky cup right here, and how it hooks in like this. Well, we can go ahead and take a look at where the magnet is. The magnet for the sticky cup, woo, that's holding pretty well. Really well. It's nice when you have the mass of a hole detector there to hold on to. But that magnet is actually going to be this guy right here. Oh wow, look at that. Held right on. So that is the magnet for the new magnetic mount. This one, it looks like they melted some plastic to help bond it into place. This is one that was modified afterward. I sent in for beta testing. I'm guessing like final production one's probably going to look a little bit neater. The speaker is right in here. Also magnetic, you can see that right there. And if you want to remove the speaker, that's kind of cool. It is a different shape and design. Looks like the specs here are a little bit different too than what I saw with the red line. But the way to do that is you've got these two plastic tabs right here, one there and one there. And I believe you push them in towards the middle and you'll be able to pop off this whole, oh wow, this is weird. I can feel the magnetic pull. It's kind of cool. But if we push one of these, is it that way? There we go. Okay, cool. So that releases this, and the magnet pops out. Here is the actual speaker. So the speaker looks like this. It's not round, it's more of like an oval shape, and the speaker sits inside of this kind of plastic housing, this plastic case. So there we go. There is the look at our speaker. What is it, a 2-watt speaker, 8 ohm impedance. So it's the specs here on the the Max speakers. This is the magnet, as I mentioned earlier, for the magnetic sticky cup mount. Here are the underside of the buttons. So let's see, we'll try pressing the mute button. You can see the mute button comes up, and that will actually, I think that's this one. We press the mute button. You can see how it comes up. That'll press here, and basically you're pressing down on these different buttons and pads here when you're pressing this stuff. So there's a look at the, trying to line it up so you guys can see. So, buttons. Oh, getting some reflections. There you go, is that a little better? So, we've got, what is this? Mute is here, and then it's all, I'm having to look on another screen to do this, but, so power, mark, this is volume down, this is volume up, this is our sensitivity, and this is our brightness. So cool. There's the inside of the buttons, and what these guys do, they press it onto here. That's kind of cool. Let's see, what else did I notice? Oh, this is one thing that I kind of did by accident. I thought I broke something at first. Never a good feeling, but the laser sensor right here, this is the rear laser sensor. If we take a look again at the main PCB, the horn, so you guys know, would be right here, right? Right next to where the horn would be, this is actually the laser sensor. And if you take a look right here, you see this kind of rectangular gap here on top of the laser sensor? That's there for a reason. And here, I'll put it here for now. Maybe this way, whatevs. Okay, so I was kind of poking around with it, and you see this, I want to make sure it's visible for you guys on camera, but there's this little tab right here. And I don't know, what's a good way for you to see it? Kind of like that. Basically, I pressed on this by accident, and it kind of popped off like that. And I was like, uh-oh, did I just break something? Basically what it is, I'll just take it out. This is the laser receiver. It looks like this. It's a rounded piece of plastic, and it is kind of the same purplish color. It may not show up on camera very well, but it's the same kind of purplish color as the actual lens itself. So kind of, dark, translucent. Basically what it does is when laser hits right here in this sensor, do it this way. When laser hits the sensor here, it gets guided down here, hits down in this rectangle area, and gets dropped down out the bottom. That corresponds with this opening here, and that's actually where the laser sensor can go, and that's how it detects laser from the rear. So from the rear. This is pointed out towards the front of the vehicle there, and this is the laser sensor. It's kind of coming this way and going down, and that's your rear laser detection. That's how that works. So that's cool. Looks like I can't remove, it'd be kind of cool if I could remove the laser sensor, but we've got 2 points soldered on here, and then we've got these metal tabs here like physically connected, so it'd be kind of cool if I could, pry off the laser sensor and we could take a look in there, but Yeah, that's kind of on there. I don't want to mess with that mesh there. So, okay. So that's the laser, that's the speaker. That's kind of the main stuff. I know we got pieces everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to pause this video real quick while I'm recording it, take a picture of all the guts, and then just start putting everything back together again.